Welcome to Southern California.
Observation on the edge.
Observations from the edge.
Observations from the edge.
Observations from the edge. This is it, baby. Okay, so we're here at the Torrey Pines State Preserve. It's right here. This has like been protected habitat for the longest time. There's a protest happening today from cyclists and environmentalists that are saying do not open this road. This road through Sereno Valley was closed so that they could make the freeway interchange bigger, so the merge could be more merginess. And so what they're doing is now the environmentalists and the cyclists are saying, hey, monkey boys, do not reopen this road.
The environmental process began for the EIR on studying this road that goes right through here, the Sereno Valley Road. The draft is due soon, and we all, everyone here, every citizen has a right to make public comment on that draft. There'll be a 60-day period for us to study it and to come up with our own opinions of what we think should happen to this road. Those of you gathered here are saying that you care about the fate of this road and the environment and wildlife. We will all be asked to abide by the decisions made from the final EIR hearing. The developers are threatening to sue the city of San Diego if we don't open this road, and they'd like it to be opened before the EIR process takes place. What is the future of this road? There are endangered species here. The clapper rail, the building Savannah sparrow, the least bell vireo, and the California gnatcatcher.
What is at stake here?
What's at stake here is the viability of that multi-species conservation plan corridor right over your shoulder. As development has happened up on the mesa here, the other corridors which were used by the larger animals to get to Torrey Pines State Park and the lagoon here, they've started to use that corridor over there, over by Carmel Creek. If this road were to be reconstructed and reopened right now, its present configuration, those large animals would be crossing at grade over Sereno Valley Road. And as you know, that would increase the take, if you will, and the mortality of these large mammals, which are important to the health of the ecosystem of the lagoon. And it would also create safety issues for motorists and for bicyclists. And it would potentially challenge and impair the functionality and viability of the MSCP plan.
Okay, why is the Sierra Club involved in this?
We have been involved in species conservation for years. We've been here advocating the protection of this wildlife corridor for years and protection of wetland habitats for years. We're down to our last 10% of wetland habitats, and coastal wetland habitats we're down to our last 5%, and the species that depend upon them for survival are about half of all endangered and threatened species depend upon wetlands for survival. So it's critically important that we respect, when we've got endangered species that are rehabitating, like the light-footed clapper rail is rehabitating in this area, that we respect that and we do what we can to keep them protected and to maintain that. And so we're down here asking the city of San Diego to allow the CEQA process, the California Environmental Quality Act process, to go forward and allow us to consider the alternative that's being considered in that environmental document to keep this road closed, and to consider the viability of this wildlife corridor that connects points east to Torrey Pines and connects the ocean habitats and the coastal habitats to the habitats in the east, where this connectivity of wildlife habitat is so critical to the viability of species conservation.
Isabella, can you tell me exactly where we are and what this has to do with state politics?
Hello, we're standing right here at what is supposed to be a wildlife corridor between the Carmel Valley and the Los Penasquitos Lagoon. Flying over us is one of the first flyovers for the connection of State Route 56 to Interstate 5. These flyovers are going to expand and grow until this is the largest intersection in the state, and it will be built right in the Los Penasquitos Lagoon. Currently, Denise DeChaney, who's a state senator, has put forward a bill to allow this work to go forward without adequate environmental review or mitigation, because this is against federal and state environmental impact laws, and so they've had to come up with a special way to get around it. State Route 56 is said to be held up because by complying with environmental laws, we won't be able to get this work done. This is entirely unfounded, not to mention that all this environmental review should have happened in the past. Caltrans often does this, where they take a piece of a project, they don't do thorough environmental analysis, and then having done a lot of it and everybody's expecting it to be completed, then they say, oh, well, now in order to get it finished, you're going to have to dispense with some critical environmental protections. That we do not want that to happen here at the Los Penasquitos Lagoon, and we don't want to lose the connection between Torrey Pines State Reserve and the inland areas, which is essentially what will happen if the largest intersection of the state is built right here.
So regardless of what you hear in the mainstream media, it is not the case that environmentalists are holding up progress. What it is, it's poor planning.
Hawks, heavy leather boots containing numerous steel cocks or spikes, part of professional power safety equipment used to promote secure footing, cat boots.
Who just happens to show up? The California Conservation Corps. That's easy for me to say. This is Brian. Brian, tell us about the Conservation Corps.
The California Conservation Corps is a state-funded job program that helps California's young adults become more employable while protecting California's natural resources. The reason why I say that is because we do various things, from trail work, firefighting, flood fighting, tree planting, tree removals. This particular project involves the removal of eucalyptus trees.
Eucalyptus trees are a weed. Eucalyptus removal, right on. Okay, now most people think I'm a tree hugger and I love all trees. That's not true. I don't like eucalyptus. In fact, you could say I hate eucalyptuses on any continent other than Australia. That's why they're called native trees and non-native. Eucalyptus trees are non-native. Take notes, there will be a test.
That's true. So what we're doing here, what the California Conservation Corps is that the Corps members go through a series of trainings, various from leadership training to chainsaw certification trainings, to flood fighting, to you name it, they're involved in it. The CCC has wonderful opportunities which allows Corps members to travel throughout the state as well as to other countries to Australia. They have an exchange program which the Corps members go over and they plant trees on some of the barren lands that they just came in and clear cut all the eucalyptus trees, which is native to their environment over in Australia, and they have wildlife that feed off of those trees and also nest and live off the extractions from the trees. The CCC hires, like I said, young adults 18 to 23, men and women, who are not on probation or parole. It's not a juvenile institution type thing. It's more of a...
Never thought I would get into a job like this, where I'd be actually working with, restoring wildlife and habitats and stuff like that, but I never...
Do you see yourself, that your time with the California Conservation Corps actually providing you with a basis for a career in environmental whatever?
Yeah, I do.
Where do you see yourself, if you had a choice now, if you say, okay, I have all this great training, how do you see yourself, 5 years from now doing, what would be your ideal job?
Well, I have qualifications to be a ranger. I could be a supervisor for the California Conservation Corps. I could work with Caltrans. There's so many job opportunities for me since the job skills that I've acquired in the California Conservation Corps.
Cool.
The CCC also will put you through college, through school. If you don't already have your high school diploma and GED, they will put you in. There's three components to the CCC. There's the work part, there's the education and training, and there's just the having fun.
So what was your relationship, before you joined the CCC, what was your relationship, and tell me about how that progressed?
Well, I struggled a lot. I didn't graduate from high school because I was into other things at that time, but I came from, living in the city, and I moved up to the mountains, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the whole tree planting thing, the trail work, the firefighting, the flood fighting, all that. The environment is what I'm here for. I'm here to help conserve California's natural resources.
Brian rocks. California Conservation Corps is a very good thing. So young people, if you're watching this, you're thinking maybe I should go into the Army or the Navy or the Marines. No. California Conservation Corps. It takes care of here and the now. Cool. Thanks, Brian.
That's right. Thank you.
Thanks. Here at Observations from the Edge, we like to get our bearings with creeks. Right now I'm standing at Carmel Creek as it goes underneath 5805-56 merge. Check it out. I'm here at Torrey Hills, somewhere in between San Diego, North County, Del Mar. Less than 10 years ago, this was rolling hillsides, the epitome of Southern California. It is now this. If you want to know exactly where we are, come this way. Check it out. We got freeway over here. This is our beautiful freeway. If we look over here, we have more homes, freeways, homes. And what do we get for this? We get more time on the freeways. We get more times in the shops. We get more times at work. We get more time. Except where we get less time. Because we're spending it. Having to make money so we can build more homes, buy more homes, buy more stuff, just so we can have beautiful, fabulous buildings like this. What do you think it's all about? Greed. It's about greed. It's about nothing but greed and the love of cement and the love of God and the love of country.
Hello, my name is Robert Naniga. I'm here in southeast Vista. What you saw down in the valley is Buena Creek, a riparian wetland who has less than a year to survive. This riparian woodland is in a year-round floodplain, 100-year flood equivalent of about 40 feet. The habitat houses all sorts of Vista's indigenous wildlife, including trees, coastal scrub, sage scrub. The tragedy is the battle between development and the environment is being fought right here, and in this case, the environment lost the battle. This is a California sycamore, another one of Vista's, North County, Southern California's indigenous species. If you'll notice, this tree survived a fire. This thing has carved out an existence here without the aid of man. They now believe, the developers say, they're going to transplant this tree somewhere else. Do you really think this tree could survive a major upheaval? Oh, and by the way, just because the street's named Sycamore, it doesn't mean they're going to save the sycamores. They're going too, along with the eucalyptus and the oaks and the sage. It's all going. A nice little house, beautiful country charm, overlooking an open meadow. Not. We're on the road to nowhere. Sage, chaparral, willows, oaks, sycamores, all this indigenous life, plant life, the animals indigenous, mule deer once roamed these streets and everything. This was once a happening ecosystem. All of it's gone. The part that this area played, the role it played to indigenous people, to the Indians that would cross through here to go to the mountains to collect acorns or down to the ocean. Matatas, Indian matatas have been found here, places where they've left their shells. This was once a very active place for all sorts of life. Now you can see it's only home to the mating dance of the frenzied developers and their big yellow toys. Sometimes I ask myself, why am I doing this? Why am I sitting here talking to you? Why am I doing this? The sad part is, the developers and these people driving these bulldozers aren't. They don't ever ask themselves, why am I doing this? And when they do, the answer is always said, money, of course. Just how much damage can a bulldozer do in 2 weeks? Well, and he's coming around the corner, and it's the Caterpillar, and it's coming, and there he is, and it's coming up the corner, and it's going, and it's around the corner, and he's gone. Word definitions for the 90s, what was once a creek is now a trench. Open space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Southern California. Captain, there's no more land. Where will we go? So how's that for progress? You know, last time we were here, we didn't even have a top on the box. And now our box culvert has a top on it. That is progress. One giant step for mankind. I'll speak loud so you can hear me over the machines. If you're wondering what happened to the creek, it's right down there. The triple box culvert is almost done. Look, they're hard at work, busy as a beaver as they dam up the creek. Nice little animal analogy there, thank you very much. Now if you can look, see how they're digging it down? We've got 3 guys standing there where the creek used to be. Look at that, dry as a bone. Isn't modern technology fabulous? The creek's no longer there. I wonder where the water's going right now. It's over there in the middle of the street. The So as you can see, everything's moving right along. They did save a tree. Wave hello to the tree. Hi, little pine tree. That's made it so far. Question is, will it be here in 2 months? Ha ha ha. Welcome to Southern California. You know, it's quite amusing what we'll do in the name of progress. You say you want to improve the quality of life, and the first thing you need to do that is a bulldozer. You got yourself a bulldozer, then you get yourself a Caterpillar. Get yourself a Caterpillar, then you're going to need a skip loader. You're going to need some pipe trucks, some watering trucks. You're going to need some architects. You're going to need some planning engineers. You're going to need yourself some city council people that are quite friendly to the developer. Then you're going to need freeways. You're going to need lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of freeways. Because without freeways, we can't have development. Because why do we develop? So the freeways are more accessible to human beings. So what do we want? We want to develop. We want to develop Southern California because without development, we go nowhere. Who was it that said, man affects destiny? It's kind of funny. Man infests destiny? Well, I look at it this way. Mankind is an autistic child, totally unaware of the people around him, and slowly he's been left with an evolutionary parent as he beats himself to death with a shovel. So, got yourself a bulldozer? Yes, you too can start your own strip mall. Walmart, Kmart, Save Mart, Cost Mart. You've got yourself a mart. Funny how this doesn't resemble a creek anymore, does it? Doesn't really resemble anything except for maybe a battleground. We lost. Okay, let me get this straight. We take a hill and we make it not a hill. And then we take the creek and put the hill on top of it so we no longer have a creek. This is progress? So if you look right over here, there used to be a creek here. Now, as we go forward, you're going to see this huge berm, this big old hill that is actually sitting on top of the creek. And to make sure that the creek doesn't come out, they put like a Starbucks and a Rubio's, and they put those on top of the creek. So that way that nothing's getting out of there. So you can kind of look up that hill there with that nice little retaining wall. There's a creek, it's like right down there. Okay, I'm tripping out here. Okay, it's like I'm getting this sinking feeling. I mean, there was a creek. I swear there was a creek somewhere. There were trees, there were birds. But they're gone. Come here. No, I know somewhere there was this creek. Mind the non-natives. Come on. So, like, there used to be a creek down here. Once upon a time we showed you when it was just being dug, and then it was just underground. But now it's under this huge Target store. You know, it's kind of like Target, like a bullseye. Like, here's nature. Bam! 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 Help! Help! I'm trapped by development. Who will save the poor injured child? There's a creek down here. Come here! It echoes. Hello! Ha! The creek's somewhere down there. I think the question we need to ask ourselves is, what can we do about this? What can we as citizens of Southern California, of the state of California, of the United States of America, what can we do to prevent such redundant development and the blighting of existing businesses? First of all, you can talk to your city council people. Because in local municipalities is where your voice is heard at its loudest. Because the farther away from home you try screaming, the softer your voice gets. But you can write your state senators. You can write the President of the United States. Write your congressman. But get involved from the local level all the way up to the national level. Because if we don't do that as people, we're going to have an entire world full of empty parking lots and empty shelves.
The shopping cart graveyard. This is where, from all appearances, for the last 20 years, they've been dumping shopping carts. So if you ever wondered where shopping carts go to die, it's here in Escondido. My question is, why isn't this stuff being recycled? I know there's a major fine if you steal these from your shopping center. Yet here they sit, completely recyclable. Let's go see what else we can find. This was a back seat of a car. Looks like a back seat of a car. What else we got here? There's another one. This is a shopping cart from, looks like the old Gymco or maybe Target. Here is a big old tire. More shopping carts. This one from Falco. I don't think there's been a Falco in the area for a really long time. So they've been dumping these things for quite a while. Okay, oh, we got some tires here. A few tires, more shopping carts. Okay, behind me, there is a thrifty shopping cart. We got some more stuff over here. We've got more tires. Another question is, why all these mounds of dirt? What is this dirt doing here? Check this out. Woo! Hey, dirt. What does that say? Loose gravel. But there's some, I can show you the gravel down there. Maybe we should save this for later. I feel like if I drop this, I'm littering. Oops, let's go. So not only do the shopping carts come here to die, so too sidewalks. This is like old sidewalk. Instead of being ground up and reused, they just pile it up here. This is the mitigation space. So when the Escondido talks about mitigating for the expansion of HARF, what they're going to do is they're just going to clean up this kind of makeshift landfill. This is the city's landfill, totally discarded. Mitigation.